So I told my wife that I was recording my testimony, and she said that I should tell a lot of my stories because I have a lot of amazing stories. So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna do that. In a previous video, I mentioned the fact that my father was in the Navy, and when I was a kid, we moved around a lot. I think I went to, in my 12 years of school, I went to 13 different schools. Um, it wasn't very fun having to make friends all over again every couple years, but it is what it is. But when I was about 11 years old, we were in Naples, Italy, and there was some other uh, military families there as well. This is a U.S. naval base there in Naples. So we lived in these apartment complex, which were kind of dark and dingy, and everything was marble, so everything was cold as hell in the wintertime. But anyways, I I lived there with some friends. We lived in one building, and they lived in another building. And I remember there was a couple more friends, but I mainly remember these two brothers. And anyways, both of our parents worked, so that was kind of so because we were, 11 years old, 12 years old, they would give us the responsibility of making sure that we took care of ourselves during that period of time, and we didn't get in trouble or anything like that while they were working. Because after school, they would still be at work and we'd be, available to play or whatever. So this one day, and I don't know why this is, but my friends that were brothers, the younger one held the key to the apartment around his neck on a piece of string. And I thought it was strange that the younger one held the responsibility of the apartment key, because you would think the old one would be the responsible one, but it wasn't the case. But anyways, behind the apartment complex was some terraces. These were vineyards. And if you're not familiar with what a terrace is, it's like a step in the land. Big steps, maybe 3 foot high, or maybe not quite that high, and maybe 3 foot wide, or 3 foot deep, I should say. But this was kind of the off season for grapes. So I think they'd already harvested the grapes, and now everything was growing in with weeds and everything. Anyways, my friend's younger brother, for some reason, took the keychain, or the string holding the key, off of his neck and started winging it around his index finger. And as he wung it around his finger, I don't even know if that's a word, as he was winging this around his finger, it suddenly flew off and into the vineyards. And we were petrified because his mother was really strict, and if he lost that key, he would be in big trouble. I guess that's why when I found out that that's why he had the key, because his older brother already lost the key. So we went up to the vineyard, the terraces, and we started scouring for this key, and we couldn't find it. We looked and looked and looked. We couldn't find it. And this place was so thick with weeds, it was unbelievable. So I come up with this brilliant idea that if we construct a similar key and string combination and let him wing it around his finger once again, we could all really concentrate on where it landed. And then that's where the original key would be. And we all knew this made so much sense. I mean, this is going to work. We all had that faith. And I guess that's what this message is about. It's about faith. Jesus said, if you have the faith of a child, you can do great things. So we constructed this new string and key, and we let him wing it up, and we watched where it went, and we all intently went to that very location. And right next to that key was the apartment key. To this day, it amazes me how that happened.